right, our intro's up. Stand by, everybody.
I don't have to share it anymore.
And it's Exner, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can you bring up the audio? I want to make sure that... where's the audio?
Pull it up.
You go ahead. Okay, so... Oh. Hey, everybody, you can probably hear me because my mic is still on.
COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
Oh, the lights aren't on either. It is our 50th show, and we are celebrating. You didn't think we'd have anything to do with celebrating with isolation, would we? But yes, we do. We have lots to celebrate because we have made it this far, and we have made it this far together. How is everybody doing? Again, as usual, I'm just running a little bit behind. We had a major problem with the cake. I did not realize that this wasn't just a regular cake. This is like an ice cream cake. And as it was sitting here, I was watching the numbers slowly sink into the cake. So we were able to save that. So happy 50th to everybody, and happy 50th, Parker. We are chugging right along. Still no end in sight to isolation. Well, there is end in sight, but let's find out today what was happening. I wanted to bring you up to date on what the Premier had said a little bit earlier, just a few hours ago, about provincial parks starting to open up. Let's run that tape.
So with Victoria Day around the corner, we have more good news to share today. As of Monday, May the 11th, we will begin opening our provincial parks and conservation reserves for day use. These places will be open for walking, hiking, bird watching, and biking. People will be able to once again enjoy the outdoors in one of our many beautiful parks and conservation reserves our province has to offer. But please take note that access will be limited for now. Camping, playgrounds, and beaches will continue to be closed.
Okay, so we are getting closer and closer. Only the campgrounds will only be open for day use. Same with the conservation areas as well. Darn it, beaches aren't open yet. Okay, well, if today was any indication, I think I can wait for the beaches. Take a look at this shot that I took a little bit earlier. And again, remember, this is May the 9th. No, that's not it. I put the wrong one on.
Please do your best to stay at least 2 meters away from
Pause that, come back here. All right. As usual, we like to do things just by the seat of our pants here. So let me see if I can find that tape. Going to show folder, today's show, and weather. There we go. Play full screen. There we go. Here we go. There you go. Like horrendous. That is absolutely horrendous. We had a wind chill here in Toronto today. Meantime, and by the way, I'm supposed to be able to see the sand tower. But I don't see it anywhere in the skyline. Do you see it anywhere in the skyline? Yeah, no. But to add insult to injury, my daughter, who lives in Vancouver, sent me this from her balcony. Oh, hold on. We're going to go back to that. Hold on. I'll go back to that. No, that's not it. Where was that? That was... Oh, we're having a great time here. Hold on. There we go. I'm just going to fast forward. Bring it forward. Bring it back to my map thing. I did my map animation. Keep going back. There we go. Okay, let it go there. All right. Meantime, let's pretend none of this happened. Meantime, let's go across to Vancouver, where they had a humidex today of 29 degrees. Oh, who says weather's lousy in Vancouver all the time? You know what? I'm just going to say it. What the hell? Oh my gosh. But it's okay. Let's waste all the really bad weather on isolation. Okay, let's waste this bad weather on isolation. Don't forget, Monday we have stores opening, retail stores that have storefront in Ontario that open up onto the street. They will be allowed to open and offer curbside service. So that is coming up on Monday. The mayor is going to be here on Monday to talk about that with me. John Tory will be my guest on Monday to talk about that. But for now, I think we want to do some isolators, shall we? Let's celebrate the 50th with the isolators. And let's bring our isolators panel on, and they are from all over for today. I want to say hi, first of all, up in the top left corner there from Burlington, Ingrid Exner. How are you?
Fantastic. And I'm even more grateful that I'm not up north today.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem that north came here. We had this polar vortex whip through.
Oh, I don't know. Some friends have shared some shots of Barrie.
Yeah.
And it looks beyond frigid.
Oh,
It looks
really?
like a winter storm.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go to
Yeah.
Stouffville now. And Daphne Ross joins us from Stouffville.
Hi.
Hi, Daphne.
We
How
had
are
a
you?
snowstorm today too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I guess the further north you got, did Ingrid, when I go back to Ingrid, was there, here, I'm just going to, I'll switch it here. Let's go back to Ingrid here. Ingrid, was there a lot of snow in Burlington?
No, not at all. We had that spring type hail that we've got in past years. So it really wasn't bad at all. No accumulation whatsoever.
That's good. That's good for that. Okay, and let's go back to Daphne. Daphne Ross joins us from Stouffville. What do you do, Daphne?
Actually, I retired a year ago from municipal government.
Oh, okay. What did you do?
So I've been living the good life. I was a manager for environmental services in charge of budgets and training and compliance.
Okay.
So
And now
I have
you're
a big budget
enjoying-
to deal with.
Now you're enjoying
I'm
retirement.
enjoying retirement.
All right.
Yeah, and I was actually trained in EOC and business continuity, which is exactly what they need right now. But Markham's doing a great job, so kudos to them.
Good stuff. All right, and let's introduce our third member of our panel, no stranger to people on the show, and no stranger to people who on the message board as well. Mike Robin joins me from Cochrane.
Hello again, everybody. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Daphne. Hi. And
Ingrid.
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 Yes. Now, if we can depend on anyone for snow, it's Mike, because you're up in Cochrane.
Oh my God. Okay, now I totally feel you guys talking about your snow, but when you're born and raised up in this neck of the woods, and Kevin knows that too, winter isn't officially over until May Run or the Victoria Day long weekend.
Yes, until exactly. It's supposed to be the first full moon after Mother's Day. Is sort of the rule of thumb that we used to use in the north, and the first. I mean, we're in a full moon now, so I think we have to wait for the next full moon, and that is supposed to be like, okay, no more snow, no more frost.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all three of you for joining me on this our 50th show. And I guess the question for you to begin with is, what have we learned from isolation, everybody? And I want to see some responses from people at home too. So if you want to chime in, whether you're watching on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, chime in. What have we learned, Ingrid? We're going to go to you first.
Oh, I think there's lots of lessons. There's lots of hardship, don't get me wrong, over the last few months, but lots of lessons too. I think, the kindness lesson, the caring, the checking in on neighbors and reciprocating. And just generally just being kind and loving to one another.
Can you say you've learned anything about yourself, Ingrid?
I have. I really have. I thought I would be 100% okay because I'm introverted. And I thought, okay, I'll have no problems with this self-isolation. But I think as an introvert, you have that choice of leaving your house. But when you're told by someone, stay in your house and don't go out, it's trying. It's difficult.
Yeah. And I guess we all surprised ourselves, didn't we, with our tolerance level, whether it was good, whether it was bad. It doesn't. I don't. For me, it doesn't seem like 50 days because I kept busy with this. But I just don't know if people didn't keep busy. I know, Mike, you've kept very busy as well.
Well, I unfortunately had to work since we are an essential service, and so it was really different. It was a lot more complicated trying to work my job with all of these COVID-19 strategies that are in place. You know, you have to worry about the clients, you have to worry about the staff, and but it is coming together. So unfortunately, that meant I had to self-isolate when I got home. That means no social life, no running around and stuff like that. But if there was one thing I learned myself during this time, it was the fact that I really miss hugs. I never really,
Okay, everybody virtually hug Mike.
There you go.
All right.
But that was one thing, you know, I never paid any serious attention to it. And, you know, you usually get hugs at every Christmas and your birthday and stuff like that. And, yeah, just not feeling another human being. Just not getting a hug. You know, you sort of miss that. Everybody's 6 feet apart.
For those of you who are new to the program, Mike is he helps run a shelter, a homeless shelter, up in Cochrane. And now I know that Daphne, you tell me you've been making good use of your time. You now have a daily ritual, and I think we have some video from that part of that ritual today.
After the snow, yes.
Yeah. Tell me what we're seeing. Hold on one second. I turned your mic off. That was my fault. Go ahead.
I live 2 kilometers away from Musselman's Lake up in Ballantrae. And once we had the lockdown, I knew I needed to get out. I'm an extrovert like Mike. I miss the hugs. And so I decided to go for a walk every day. It's 8 kilometers around the lake. That's little goslings that were just born this week that I saw. And you know what? It's kept me motivated. It's my sanity. It's my serenity. I've had people join me virtually where they're walking and we're talking. I'm trying to follow Justin Trudeau's call to call people every day. And I have a big family, so I make sure I keep in touch with them. I keep in touch with my friends, especially the single ones living on their own. Not just calling them, sometimes FaceTiming them. And, you know, it's good for me and hopefully it's good for them. Because like you, Mike, I miss the hugs big time. I'm a big hugger.
And and Cindy just made a comment about what happened to Mike, because I think she just joined, or maybe had missed something, and she sees everybody saying, "Oh, sending hugs to Mike, sending hugs to Mike." So, no, Cindy, Mike is okay.
No panic, no panic. All is good.
He just said he missed hugs.
Yes.
Let's. What shirt are you wearing?
What shirt am I wearing? Oh, look at that. Okay, this was a language and culturals conference that was held this summer in Cochrane. I'll stand up.
Okay.
And
all right.
This was actually held in Cochrane over the summer, and this was put on by our Cree resource coordinator. And it was a very informative conference, and they're hoping to have one of these every year. And what it does is it educates everybody on Cree culture, and it's just a big familiarization of traditional teachings and things along those lines.
Because with understanding comes tolerance, and you know,
Yes.
and stops the little misunderstandings. Ingrid, you do something called laughter yoga.
Yes.
What is
yes.
that?
And,
I love this.
Madam Kataria is a pediatrician out in Mumbai, and he was treating his patients traditionally, and then he started laughing with them and telling jokes, and he realized that, and he noticed that they began to improve physically through the laughter. His wife is also a yogi, so he decided to combine the laughter as well as the asanas, or the poses. So he created laughter yoga, and laughter yoga is made up of breathing exercises, laughter yoga exercises, playfulness, and meditation.
Okay, I still don't get it. So,
Okay.
can you give me a bit of an example?
Sure.
Give all three of us
well,
an example. Give us. Is there an exercise that the three of us can do?
When we start a laughter yoga exercise, we begin to clap our hands. Our hands are made up of pressure points, and you'll see little kids often when they're laughing, they're clapping their hands, palm to palm and finger to finger,
Yeah.
and they're actually sort of self-stimulating themselves and creating, happy feelings because of these pressure points. So when we begin a laughter yoga session, we do the same thing, and we do ho ho ha ha ha, ho ho ha ha ha, ho ho ha ha ha, ho ho ha ha ha.
And what's happening? What's happening with us then?
Well, what's happening is you are generating and activating your pressure points. So the pressure points from your thumb to your baby finger. And you're also activating this hand valley area, as well as this pressure point at the base of your thumb. And if you think about it, when we were young, we all clapped palm to palm till about grade 3, when our teacher suddenly said, no, you clap this way. And things started to change. We laughed less when we did the polite claps, either this way or this way.
You know what? Isn't that right, guys?
Pardon me?
That we clap, and when we see someone clapping like this, we kind of think less of them, don't we? We think you're very simple.
We do
right?
as adults.
We
do as adults. Yes.
So much of what we do sometimes we do because we don't want to embarrass ourselves.
Exactly. I think when we get to a certain age, whether it's 10, 12, because we're told by our parents to behave in a certain way, we are suddenly forced to grow up into this world where we no longer play, where we no longer find joy in simple things. And we become very adult very early on in life.
Yeah.
And that takes the fun out of things.
Thoughts, guys? Thoughts? What do you think about that, Daphne?
Actually, I agree and I laugh because I think of Celine Dion with her clap on her wrist.
Yes.
No, but it's true. And if you guys remember American Idol, I forget which year it was, but there was one guy who made us so happy, and he went, Hercules, Hercules, if you remember that. And it just brought a smile to your face, and he was so happy, but he did clap like that.
That's interesting. It's all these little coping skills, right? And I know that, Daphne, with your walking, you're using that as a coping skill. And I mean,
very much.
And just like Ingrid, it is something that's healthy for you as well.
Yes, laughter
very
is very
healthy. Yeah, all right, Mike. Tell me about what you were always so positive, right? Always so positive, always cracking a joke. Well, tell me about the real Mike Robin, please.
You know what? The real Mike Robin is actually a very quiet guy. The real Mike Robin is very easily adaptable to the social isolating because I've been doing it for about 20 years. But the important thing I learned, and just basically through life experience, is that you have to go into every situation with the highest hope. If you go into a situation and you're not feeling your best, then unfortunately it's going to reflect in that situation. So I try to start my day off as positive as possible. I believe we talked before about balance, where you have a tragic situation and you try to counter it with a bit of laughter and this and that, and that's where your supports and your coworkers come to be so important to you, that they're almost family, because they're the same thing you are. And so I just practice that as much as I can, and go in with a smile on my face, go in with no judgment, and that actually benefits the entire situation, just starting that like that.
Okay, great advice. Okay, I want to go to the phone now and bring another isolator on. I finally figured out how to put people on the phone. Carol Law joining me from Newmarket. Hi, Carol.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear everything just fine, thank you.
Now,
Hi, Carol.
everybody says hello.
Oh, hello. I'll send virtual hugs.
And virtual hugs all around. I like that. So Carol, right now you are sort of you're doing two things at once, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm told you're actually doing some training right now for Girl Guides.
Yes, that's what's kept me busy, actually. I've been volunteering for over 50 years, and it's in my blood, and I don't think I could go a day without volunteering. So I'm with Girl Guides, and we're doing virtual trainings now. We're even doing virtual meetings with our groups.
And you've been involved with Girl Guides for a while. What, 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, about 5 plus 50.
55 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good for you.
It's in my blood. I'm an outside person. And what I'm really enjoying right now is encouraging other generations. Mm-hmm. And you've been around a while when a girl you had as a brownie is now a leader and has her own brownies.
Wow, yeah. I remember my mother was a brownie leader, and I remember in the church hall in St. Peter's in North Bay. And I thought it was really cool because they had this big mushroom they danced around.
And a mirror.
Magic toadstool.
The magic toadstool.
Well, brownies is a British term for we fairy folk. So
Okay.
brownies do good turns. So
Okay.
that's where they go and they get all their little magic and go off and do good turns.
All right. Well, Carol, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, happy to be volunteering all the time, and I'm with the Newmarket Citizens Band, and we can't really practice right now, so we're working on getting ready for our 150th anniversary in about a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
You're busy.
it's always something to do, and thank you for keeping us connected, Kevin.
All right, and congratulations on 55 great years. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
All right, Carol.
Keep on smiling.
All right, you too.
Hi, Carol.
Carol talking to us on the phone from Newmarket. Always great to bring someone else in as well. Girl Guides, Girl Scouts, ladies, were you?
Yes, brownies and Girl Scouts or Girl Guides.
Okay, so what was it? Was there a troop number? What? I don't know how it works.
There is a
I think there was a
number.
troop number.
But you can't remember it?
No.
All right.
No, I was a brownie, but I was also a brownie leader. I was Snowy Owl.
Wow.
So I got to turn them at the mushroom toadstool, too.
And Mike, Boy Scouts at all?
Oh, no, I was too busy being a little rebel, growing my hair out and stuff like that, and just being a nightmare to my mom and dad.
It's funny, right, that we do a lot of things. We took a lot of things in North Bay, what scouting teaches kids, the survival skills and outdoor activities and things like that as well. So here's Trish. Trish just put a message up. I was one of the first female Boy Scouts in Ventures. Good for you.
Right on, Trish.
What do you think of that? As both of you having been involved with the Girl Guide Brownie organization, what would you think of just sort of like one organization that is Girl Scout, Boy Scouts? And it's Brownies and Cubs. What do you think about just having the one organization?
Oh, I think it's great. Usually when we went out and we went on special hikes or events, we often kind of were co-led by the Cubs or the Brownie leader. So I think the joining of the two groups is fantastic.
It would save a lot of the overhead, too. And I know girls can go into Boy Scouts, but boys cannot go into Girl Guides. You're not even allowed male leaders in there. So it would be a move forward.
Trust Daphne to talk about the financial portion. However, you're quite right. Because
hey, don't get me on school boards.
You're quite right, though. It could save a lot of money for these organizations if they could have one executive and one sourcing for uniforms, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe make it more effective camps, things like that. I want to say, by the way, I want to say hi to all my Easter Seal campers. I don't know what's going to be happening this year, whether they're going to be able to get any camping in at all. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. We still don't know what it's going to look like. Is there going to be a second wave? We have to be prepared for that. We could be in isolation again.
Or this could be it.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope.
if we behave.
I'm the optimist, but I do think we'll get something probably in September when school's back in.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's sort of the prediction. However, I think that we surprised ourselves here in Ontario by flattening the curve faster, or starting to flatten the curve faster than we anticipated we were going to. So if we can behave once we're out of isolation, washing our hands a lot, staying home if we're sick, and this is something that I really think needs to be addressed. That once and for all, if someone is sick, they need to stay home. And that's easy to say, but the problem is a lot of people who don't get paid unless they go to work. And what companies don't realize is they're putting their other employees at risk and putting the rest of society at risk. So maybe that's one thing we need to look at: a number of true paid sick days for anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at some operations, you lose one, maybe two employees, you're done. The whole operation has to stop. There's nobody to cover all of the shifts. There's nobody to. I mean, it's so easy to shut a business down in this type of pandemic situation. So we all have to be careful. We all have to practice our 6 feet. We all have to wash our hands like nonstop. And yeah, by golly, if you're sick, let somebody know, and take care of it. And unfortunately, as the world turns, yes, you're right. Not everybody gets sick pay. So, you know,
I think Kelly just.
Yeah, I think this is our new norm too, that we have to get used to.
Yeah.
What's that? Are you
Getting used to having, well, one, being kind, but space and controls. If you think of what Costco was like, you know, when you went before the pandemic and everybody was in your face, whereas now there's only a certain amount of people allowed in the store. People are giving you your space.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to go to I had to go to the grocery store this morning, and people were actually having that very conversation. And like we're into like 4 or 5 weeks of this now of people being 6 feet apart. They're only allowing 20 people in the grocery store at a time. And a few people in line were actually saying, you know what, I think it's going to stay like this. And I'm okay with it.
I think there are a lot of things that we need to do differently. And we need to agree to this before isolation is over. We need to talk, we talked about the sick days. We need to talk about encouraging people to wash their hands more, which we're doing now. And, sanitizer is sold out. This is great. But we need to continue that. We need also to continue to be wary of our service workers. Our transit operators, our grocery store cashiers, anybody who is, we're coughing on them, we're kind of taking them for granted. Now there's plexiglass between us, and I think it's a good reminder. I'm hoping. What do you guys think? I'm hoping that all the plexiglass stays there.
You know what? I was just gonna say it was put up there. And I know locally, I've seen them put up there, and they're put up there to stay. Like they've got.
I think they're going to stay.
Day long that go right through the counter and this and that. You're not going to tear that down. And if they keep that up, then all the better, because we've had flu seasons over the years. Nobody takes flu shots, or a lot of people don't take flu shots. I'm sure a lot of people do, but why not have that extra layer of protection?
Ingrid, go ahead.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. We have to regulate things. We have to begin to respect each other more. We have to respect distances more. But I'm really wondering, how are we actually going to control that? How are we going to ensure that people are maintaining their distances, respecting people? I guess, what are steps that we will take to enforce and regulate things?
I can tell you in one word. I think the one word in order to answer your question is leadership. And I'm talking about true leadership. Sadly, we're still dropping the ball. We're not working together as a worldwide community enough. Because if we had been, we could have put an end to this a long time ago. There's all the infighting and the arguments that go on. And then the mixed messaging: wear a mask, don't wear a mask; stay home, don't stay home; order online groceries, don't order online groceries. So we need leadership. We need one message, and we also have to expect that message to change. So we can't get mad at the messengers and say, "Oh, you told us before one thing." Well, we're learning more and more, but we need leadership after this, because those, what's the old saying? Those who fail to learn from history
are doomed to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Indeed, we don't want to repeat this. I think Kelly had said this a little bit earlier. She doesn't think she could go through another isolation. Do you guys think you could go through another minimum 50 days of isolation?
If I had to, I would.
Yeah, I mean, what depended on it.
Yeah. I have the books. I do have the books, and with Skype and everything, we can reach out to one another quite easily. But I think there's a certain amount of time that we as social beings can be without another person, face to face.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough. I personally don't know how I would fare through a second wave. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing people and being with people and walking down the street in the park and being able to sit closer to someone.
And you know what? That's something that I hope we all learn as a society once this clears up, is that we have to learn to appreciate that kind of activity more. It goes with hugs, right?
Yeah.
But, even beyond hugs, just, being able to talk to somebody 2.5 feet away from you. I mean, hopefully we learn to appreciate that as a society.
Most definitely.
Appreciate it, value, and I think we need to respect people on all levels.
Oh,
So
yeah.
respect distance, respect privacy, respect people's emotions, respect everything. Like, I think we definitely do need better leadership, but we need that respect level from everybody, from children, from people, from our leaders to the general populace.
And a lot of that is education.
Sorry, Daphne?
Yes.
That's my thing. A lot of that is education, the best way to teach. And it's to start with the children, too.
Yeah. Do you think maybe handshakes are becoming a thing of the past?
I've learned to toe tap.
Yeah. Toe tap. Okay.
Yeah, you reach out and touch your toes or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that. I don't know how it would go
Your
over a
legs are 3
business
feet
meeting.
long. You could do it.
Perhaps we've seen the end of handshaking. Who knows?
You know
I
what?
hope not.
I've been doing the bow occasionally. Not like the hardcore thank you everybody, but it's kind of a hey, nice to see you. And people catch on to what I'm doing and they do the same.
Okay, I'm going to go around the world once more here with everyone, and we're going to start with Daphne. What would you like to say to people out there, to your fellow isolators, and anything you want to plug? Go ahead, Daphne. What do you want to say to your fellow isolators?
My fellow isolators, well, there's tons of us. Take care of each other. I know I'm shopping for neighbors who are in their mid-70s, and the wife was diagnosed with cancer recently. So they're very high risk, and they don't want to take chances. And we've always been great neighbors, but you know what? We've all pulled together. I'm in a dead end cul-de-sac, and I'm getting to meet a lot of my neighbors. And, the forest behind my house, there was hundreds of people on the sunny day, and a lot of them are from condos in Toronto and Markham. And I have 2 composters at the back of my yard. I'm educating them how to use it. So it's, just be kind. I think it's the big thing. Be kind. You don't know what people are going through till you walk in their shoes, and now we're all in the same shoes right now.
Excellent, Daphne.
All right, Mike, your turn.
You know what, isolators? I love you all. We are all like a big family here. In the comments section, we'll carry on conversations and regardless of the show going on, and I love that. So, to each and every one of you that drops by this show or every day, we are going to get through this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And as long as we're here together, you've got the support of not only the 4 people on your screen, but everybody in that comment section below. So be here. Kevin's here, Parker's here, Ingrid's here, Daphne's here, I'm here. We're all here. So let's just stick it out. And then one day when this is all gone, we'll head down to Toronto and have a big hug.
Yeah.
Group
what
hug.
is our last show going to be like?
Oh, boy.
Any
Celebration.
Daphne, what
I
happened?
hope
The
I'm on
sun
it.
just came out?
Yeah, sorry, I don't have curtains in my
No,
dining
that's
room.
okay. It's just like all of a sudden.
But that's the light at the end of the tunnel
There it
that
is.
There you go.
Mike was just talking about.
Well, Mike, I hope the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train coming right towards us, but okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So the sun just came out. That's nice. Is it sunny in Cochrane right now?
It's overcast right now. We had a bit of a snow flurry, which up here, no big deal. But
And Burlington? What about Burlington?
Oh, it's overcast and just nasty. So that's why I have this shut.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Tracy has Tracy is saying party at Kevin's. No.
Kevin's condo.
I
How
would
big
love
is
to.
Kevin's
Actually, I would.
place?
I really would. Once we're able to be together, that would be really nice. So we got to start thinking about what we're going to do for our last show to celebrate all of this. All right, Ingrid, so your closing words to everybody.
Just stay the course. Everybody still take precautions, wash your hands, be safe, but also know that everybody has bad days still. So be observant and be aware of your neighbors and reach out when you can, and everybody stay safe.
Okay, now Carol just said almost sunset here, 80 degrees Fahrenheit and warm. So obviously Carol is not in Burlington, Cochrane, or Stouffville.
No.
I don't think it's ever been 80 degrees in Cochrane.
All right, here we go. Oh, Kelly, no, yes, there will be. Put up Kelly's comment, the last one there. Kelly just said there is no last show. I think there's.
Oh.
Okay.
It'll be called something else.
Okay, light the cake.
Yay, don't sink the candles.
Yeah, I know, I got to do this before the candles sink any further.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so help me blow this out. This is to our 50th show.
Woo!
And hopefully not too many more, but we're going to be here every night, folks. We're going to be here every night. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. All right.
Good job.
There we are. I would love to share some
And
with
clap
everybody,
properly.
believe me. Okay. Thank you, all of you, and thank you to everyone at home. We're still here, still getting along, still trugging along, so we'll get it done. So can you help me with are you all familiar with my closing line?
Oh, boy.
Take care.
Take care
of yourself.
Take care of yourselves, but
And
most of all, take care of each other. Ah.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks. Take care.
My name is Willow. When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut and go to all the planets. Jupiter, Mercury, Venus. I like to see Mars. Earth is my favorite. I built a spaceship to travel to the future. I learned if we stay inside, everything is going to be okay. Please stay home if you can. Try your best. Stay healthy and be kind to each other.
COVID-19, why you do this to me? I really don't like being stuck in quarantine. I have no toilet paper, I don't even have a snack. Hey, coronavirus, I want my life back.
Get out,